Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is Chad Chill Saturday. Hope everybody's doing well. Alright. Yeah, today I'll probably go over a couple things with maybe plant or some, and then talk about something to do with my candies. That's probably about it for now. But yeah, hello, in the pain and Levi. But yeah, um, let me see. Uh, yes, Levi. It is cold here. Yeah, I'm gonna reach for something, but never mind. It's out of my reach. Sorry about that, John. Um, right. But there is a plant I got over here where a couple pods are still ripening up, or actually ripening up a little bit. But I mean, unfortunately, the pods aren't ripened today. Um, it's quite possible they'll be ripened at the rate they're going. The, the two pods that are on it will probably be ripe uh, in the next 2 days, in at least 2 days. But, I haven't decided anything about plants really for gardening this year. Um, I still got a lot to do in order to get anywhere with that. Um, I really don't count how many plants normally. At least I haven't done that for the past several years. I mean, I don't know. I just haven't really bothered counting. So I just plant, and then when I get enough plants going, and I get my air filled up, then that's when I'll stick with. So soaps and suds, subs, soup. So yeah. Hold on, talking guys. No, I know this plant's looking a bit rough, but I know it looks like it's kind of doing this, but it's not really attached too well right in the top of this bottle. But this is golden cayenne. Here, I'll just go ahead and take this off. But, so yeah. I just basically have had this in this container for quite a while. Well, pretty much this, most of its term. So, yeah. So there. Yeah. So, at this rate, this pod might be ripened, and well, if, like I'm saying, at this rate, that pod should be ripened within 2 days. And let's put that there so I'm not waiting for the plants. But yeah, all these other plants I've actually really neglected a bit, so just been working a lot. Let's see. Um, so that plant just continues on with the way it's going. I'll probably go ahead and do a little mini review on those peppers. So I don't know. I'll probably do something on those two pods just as just to do them. Those two pods on that plant that I just showed, I'll do a little, uh, as it ripens, I might do a little uh, the seed giveaway for those two pods. Um, that's a golden cayenne plant. So Lisa, Barnyard Chicken, how you doing? Oh yeah, guys. My candy's got a couple new shapes. This one's a little bunny face. That's some chocolatey goodness there. Ooh, definitely some peppery goodness in there. Really tastes peppers. But yeah, so they do got a couple plants sprouted, but they're not much to look at. Still got a lot to do. Um, what I'm going to do, with a lot of this stuff is Well, there's a handful of plants that really do need to switch out. Let's see. Yeah, I got a few dozen that I could switch out. So, Schaller, some everyday Canadian. Everyday Canadian. These are um, candies that I made. Uh, um, that are that have Brendo spice on my own very own Brendo spice in there. So yeah, yeah, take a look at that. Little basket with eggs in there. But you know, mm-mm. Think about these ones. These ones are bigger size than the other ones. So yeah, more chocolate in these chunks. Mm, that's a lot of chocolate. What's up, Happy Pepper? Yeah, a couple of chocolates. You can really taste the spices and the peppers in there. Chocolate's really creamy, creamy. Mm-mm. So, Fixter, but yeah, I want to say if anybody wanted to give some of these a try, be sure to hit me up. Hey, you like the taste of chocolates and you like the taste of peppers and that? Those are definitely a good way to go. But yeah, I'm about to. Probably should trim this little sapling out of here. Yeah, there it goes. If my fat fingers don't get in the way. 'Cause. 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 ' Just transferred this out of the seed tray a few days ago. Not much to look at right now. But, what's up, Rob? I only just started the stream a little while ago, so um, but, yeah, so in case you missed it, Rob. Yeah, so, um, yeah. There goes the pineapple plants. I think they're getting taller by the day. Oh yeah, and guess what grew back in here? One of these clovers. Seems to be a reoccurring theme. Every time I've been growing these back inside here, and some of these clovers grown in. But that's nothing to, I'm not objecting to that. So that's fine. Get a little cover in here. But got this here going on. Got a couple plants. And yeah. This one back here, this plant's looking a little scraggly, but I've been keeping it trimmed back. It's over a year old. Yeah, I was just trying to keep it hanging in there to where I'll just put it outside, let it, you know, live its life outside where it should. But yeah, so pineapple again. What's up, Alberta pepper? Um, the one that I just showed you in the bottle, that was a golden cayenne, Rob. What's up, Sleestack? How you doing? But yeah, here's another one of the caddies I got going on. Is that me or is that a glare? Oh, that's candy. I'm like, what? Yeah, the candy's got a glare on it. Alright. That's vanilla. See, I shouldn't be breathing in the candy. I should be swallowing the candy. Jeez. Whatever. Anybody want to try some of these candies? I dare you. Well, if you look closely, you can look at that. See the little speckles in there? Even on his ear right there, that's a little, it's, it's showing that the spice is in it. But uh, let's see, guys. I already showed this little plant, just transplanted a couple of days ago. And yeah, still got plenty of time for to get up there before I put them outside. But a number of them are going to have to trim back a little. Um, um, Thanks, Happy Pepper. Thanks, Roberta. Um, Sleet Snack, I'm not sure if I'm remembering the exact first hot pepper I ever had, but but uh, Alberta, one of my favorite peppers of all time? That's hard to say. My favorite peppers have kind of shifted over the last so many years. Um, I'd say I know I've mentioned I don't know how many times about scorpions, but um, one of the flavors I liked a lot, but I haven't had that pepper in a few years, which is which I don't understand why I haven't grown it, but or I just don't know why I don't have a definitive answer besides that just haven't had the pepper or the seeds for it. Is that is a one of my few years back was one of my more favorite ones is a bush tea scorpion. Um, I've liked Marugas a lot, so Marugas are definitely on my list of ones that I like a lot. And when I say Marugas, it's not just one color variant. It's just a capsule that I mean the Marugas in general. But and then there's a number of other varieties that I do um, like um, like the one I just had this. Well, I've had this strain before, but I've had uh, I've had Senpai Jonah, which I like the flavor of, but is that was a good one. And definitely is a good strong plant, good strong pods, nice size, and very tasty. And Peach Ghost Scorpions definitely on the list. I mean for flavor, and they do bring in the heat, and they do put out some wild pods. But there's a lot of different varieties I can go with on there. Um, I mean, it's really kind of hard for me to say a definitive one above all favorite, but I could say that I can have a favorite of the season, stuff like that, which I like. But um, but there is a one that's a more of a peach variety that of mine that it's a not wouldn't say it's the hottest of all time, but it can pack some good heat. And and but I did a review on it like about a year ago or something, and it was more of a peach colored one. Um, I've shown it. I've shown it before, but last year when I regrew it, the pods came out different shapes, but the plants came out pretty big. But in general, it just it threw out different phenotypes, which I don't mind at all. But it almost gets like it gets goes beyond peach color when it's left out a little bit over ripened. It almost can get yeah, it gets a much deeper color than it goes a little darker than peach almost, but it's still the peaches. So Oh, oh, okay. Pepper, pepper. That Arrow Garden Bumblebee pollinator thing. It does vibrate. Yeah. Um, it's kind of like, look, I mean, I'm sure you've seen pictures of it. I've had it shown it on my stream before. But it's kind of got like this on here because it kind of lets you get it more right in the flower and then do that. But I haven't really felt the need to stick this in the where the flower is at. What I've done is just kind of put it right up against the flower. And I don't know if you can hear that, but uh, I mean, these are worth to me. These are worth getting. There's times where they have sales on these, so you can get these under $10, no problem. Um, but I don't know. I was thinking about I probably should have gotten another, but I can get one at any other time I want. I mean, when I want to go on there, because I've been meaning to go on there again sometime soon anyway. So I figured why not? Why not when I'm going back on there? And these do work really well, especially for indoor gardening. You don't have to just have the Arrow Garden to do it or use it. Yeah, there's been several plants I've had around in here. This is actually coming pretty handy. Um, and yeah, I mean, it'll be just random plants, random pepper plants will be, just go on, do what it does with it. And it's actually, you know, very convenient to have. Uh, Agreeing with Sleestack, it does work really well. Um, but Alberta, if you're asking about a favorite pepper plant, then that's really can kind of it's kind of that will I don't know I can't really well I could choose but I don't like to choose a specific one. I mean, in regards to more like the hotter varieties, I like growing. Let's say I like the structure of scorpion plants. Um, I also like the way peach ghost scorpions grow, but the ones I grow get all these wild little branches off everywhere, and then it just looks like it's just a bunch of wild stuff, and it's not the most structurally stable plant of Jade's peach ghost scorpions. I like those for the pods and the flavor and all that of them, but scorpions I like those because the structure of the plant's much better. I like the structure of them better. Um, but some ghost peppers can have nice structures to them as well. I found the ghost pepper plants tend not to get as large or as tall as scorpions do. I'm not saying they can't, because I know they can, but it's just they have a tendency, to vary in size comparatively. Um, but uh, in regards to, I'd say cayennes are a good one. Cayennes I try to grow every year. Um, Even regardless, cayennes have always been one of my go-tos. Um, they're very nice plants, and you can use that in a very versatile amount of things. Um, there are some cayennes that are just mostly just sweet. There's cayennes that have a nice kick to them. But cayennes of various colors always are good accent about anything. Um, yeah, so I mean it's kind of hard to say. But cayennes are good. Um, let's see. There are various types of sweet peppers I like having around. Um, Thai peppers are good. There's various types of those. Uh, hmm. Hello, Laverna. Yeah, yes, least tag. I've seen people use different ways to pollinate their plants. There's always different methods. Uh, I bought the bee pollinator because it was much simpler. And it was easy, and it can work really well. It does its job really well. Simple setup, simple interface, not much to modify it with. Now, um, there are those electric toothbrushes like you just mentioned. I know people that can have them around, and there's some places you can easily find those at a lot of stores. Um, and if you have the right attachment on it, then that'll work, just as well. Um, I wouldn't exactly use the brush part on there, but that's just me. I mean, because as I just mentioned, with this little brush part on here, I haven't really had to use that part on here at all that much at all. I mean, maybe sometimes I'll use this little flap on the side, or at times I'll just put the little face part on the petals or the back side of here, and then just do that right on the outside of the flower. But that's what's worked rather well with me, so no problem on that. Everybody's got their own ways of doing things, and that's okay. That's good. Mm. What's up, Steven? Oh boy. Uh, yeah, I got a few ghost pepper seedlings sprouted here, but yeah, somebody asked me to hook them up with a couple, and I don't know, but we'll see. Uh, in regards to how my garden's doing, I don't exactly have a garden right now. It's too cold for that. Sorry guys, I got a little quiet. I was checking something out. How you doing, Urban Gardner? Urban Gardner. I don't only grow peppers, but peppers is a lot of what I grow. Um, I mean, that's one of the things is I've been doing a lot of things, a lot on, but I've also been doing a few other types of garden plants. Let's say I've grown potatoes, tomatoes, carrots, radishes, and squash, and I've done some watermelons. I've done some other melons. I've done cucumbers. Um, I've done when I was said potatoes. I've done them in the ground. And I've also done them in containers. I prefer doing them in containers of just of in the reason is that um, like I was saying, I prefer doing them in containers because it's easier to do it that way because you can always just get them out of the container much easier than to have to do slouching over and getting them out of the ground. I mean, to me, I prefer doing it that way. Um, I know other people prefer doing it in the ground, but to me, it makes it much simpler, and easier to do it in the container. That's just the way I feel about it. But, but, but I haven't really been doing cucumbers for quite a while because cucumbers tend to are one of those viney plants that reach a lot. Um, and there's been times where I've even done gourds, and the gourds had actually since there's been a line of lilacs uh, by the garden, uh, it actually grew along the fence. The gourds had grown along the fence, then grew up where it's into the lilacs, wrapped around all the lilacs, grew all the way up in the top of the lilacs so bad to the point the lilacs were drooping down and so bad, really seriously, severely. Um, but so yeah. Um, then in regards to um, cucumbers, they can do the same, but I just don't. The cucumbers and stuff like that are better when you have something that they can climb on. Just like you can do that with squash, gourds, any other types of viney fruits, vegetables. Um, but that's what I've learned from my experience. Because if you can get something they can climb on and go over, then uh, then it actually works better in the sense that you can have something they can go over on, and with that, you don't have to sit there and move them around a lot, and it keeps them off the ground. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, for them to grow across the ground, but like say for pumpkins and watermelons and cantaloupes and certain other melons, for the ones that get larger or get some weight to them, it's going to be harder to do that in a certain way. Um, Not unless when you're growing the melons or the certain fruits, if you got them the whitey ones and they go climbing up stuff, let's say you got a trellis or a fencing kind of a makeshift fencing thing, which that actually can work. You got it up in a little, you know, overhang like that, which is pretty cool. But since they got a certain amount of weight to them, you want to do like a little net or something kind of hold them there, because otherwise, due to the weight of them, they're just going to break free from the plant. So, but Everett Gardner, yeah, yeah, as I was saying, when they do that, you'd be able to, let's say, like I was saying with the heavy fruits, get like a little net or take a piece of fabric and put it under there so it'll straddle under the fruit, and then you tie it off the two other points so it can just kind of hold it in place, rather as a so it gives it enough time to ripen in that, and then but then just as long as you can support it, you can get a netting or just some kind of other fabric to put under place to hold it there. Otherwise, the weight of it snap and break free from it. But yeah, so um, let's see. Okay, regarding which ones you talking about? Regarding those, there's a lot of different peppers out now. It's kind of hard to keep up, but I mean nowadays I'm even you know jumping around, um, kind of goofing with my own strains, but yeah, yeah, that Dos Islandes is a very good one. That one I've been meaning to grow again because the plants that I had grown before were nice, very good sized plants, and they're very tasty peppers. And yeah, they can get kind of like shapes. but but it's just like they're very good. They're very good. Right. Um, right, everybody. Um, but yeah, um, we'll see. Hopefully, y'all stay tuned for when I get the peppers off this plant here. The pods should be ripened within the next couple of days. That's seriously. I mean, this one definitely. This one be right around behind it. If I know it not, since it's smaller, it might even ripen before that. But yeah, so it'll be fun to get that one going. And what I'll do with that is I'll probably do a little live stream and maybe do a little seed giveaway of those pods. Uh, no, I don't skunk. Well, I have with some before, but a lot of times that uh, it does take quite a while to do that. Um, so I mean, it tends to be very time consuming to do that. So I don't do that very often. I'm not saying I'm not open to it. It's just I just don't do that as much. Even though there's been times where I've had plants get damaged pretty heavily um, from from the wind, from the storming, or just sheer weight of the pods breaking the branch or breaking parts of the plant. Um, I mean that's one of those unfortunate things that tends to happen. Uh, yeah. So, but oh no, no. Yes, Urban Gardener. I got a bunch of seeds of those. Um, Probably got more seeds than I need of that one. Uh, but that was a pretty good plan as well. Very tasty. Urban Gardener, have you tried it? Yeah, the Sugar Rush Peach can have some nice heat, and yeah, and it can be fairly sweet, which is nice. Um, the only drawback is the time frame it takes for them to actually fully ripen. Um, yeah. Other than that, they're good peppers. So, yep. Nice. Sugar Rush Peach salsa. Sounds like a good one. Right. But that's one thing I've also learned about ahi varieties in general. But there's other varieties that do that as well. But yeah, it's just the waiting game on that that just can get a bit annoying. Let's see. So I can get in here. All right. Aha. Gotcha. Got this one right off the plant. Just cut this one in the corner there. All right. I'll have to wait another day for this one to ripen up. But this one is a bit smaller, and I'm looking forward to it. Oh, yeah. The pods usually get a lot bigger than this. Um, this is just one of those things that happen. That's some kind of off variation of one of my strains that I've been growing, which is nice to see those different things. But what I'm going to do here, well, you know what? I was going to wait, but instead of waiting, I'll just go ahead and dig into this one right quick. Right. I'm not even going to bother saving seeds for this one. You have plenty of seeds for it. Let me double check. I'm just how I'm feeling about the inside of here. Oop, that's it. That's right, Bob got away from me. Nice interesting pot. Um, so BD. Um, let's see. Had a partly ripened but partly green flavor at the same time. But that's because it was just partly green and partly red. Uh, but yeah, uh, has like a little sting to it. That'd definitely be one to cook with and everything. Um, uh, yeah, I was just thinking that. Uh, oh boy. Oh, that reminds me. I was in the store earlier. They had a couple of this grocery store had a couple of these little plants right as you walk in. Um, there's little clovers, and I laughed because, or I kind of laughed. I was like, nah, because reason I know why I did that. I kind of laughed. Hold on. It is because of this. And if you look closely, these are clovers, right? Well, the thing about that is, those ones that they had in the stores, the little planters, look just like them. I was like, what? And, but yeah, um, oh, and skunk. No, I haven't really been using PK boosters. Um, haven't really needed to do that too much. Um, but yeah, so it's not one of those things that's really came across as a thing that you need to do with certain particular clients. So, but yeah, so let me see. Yeah, I really do need to clean out some of these plants because some of these I've just been working so much and haven't had time to switch out anything on them. So Um, a couple of them were debating on whether or not I should even really keep it all. But that's the thing is when I'm growing them for to be taken outside, I usually don't like to switch and move them around too often. So I usually try to gauge them to be a certain way or a certain level, particular spot of growth before I just take them outside. I'm kind of particular about the plants that way. Um, I don't have to have my plants this tall before I transfer them outside. Um, I just don't. I'm not compelled to do that. I'm not saying there won't be some plants, a few plants that I have like that, and, around them when that time comes. But I just don't really feel compelled to do it in that manner. Um, I know other people do, but that's fine. No problems at all with that. Because each his own. Um, but anyway, yeah. So this year, I still got a lot of sweet peppers to plant. There's a handful of these other ones that I've got going. Um, but there's ones that I got in the seed trays that do not sprout. I'm not going to consider it a big loss, but because I still got that seed starting system for the AeroGarden I still need to do, which I should have started a while ago. But if I do that right, it shouldn't be an issue. Please cross my fingers on that one. Um, hey man, try getting some spiders. Try getting some ladybugs. Try to get a few other things around your garden, man. Uh, a number of those things will help a lot. Um, just to get a number of those things around, man, because a lot of those things will actually help. You don't have to get the biggest, most gruesome spiders around, but there's those they help with eating bugs. Um, but then there's other smaller ones that eat aphids a lot too. I mean, there's even these little small spiders that you know feed on things like that. Um, ladybugs definitely. There's a few other things that you have to look around. I'm not saying go around and import a bunch of other stuff, but find what's naturally around your area. That's the best suggestion I can say. Um, you can always grow certain other plants, um, like certain kinds of herbs, flowers. Some pest problems are deterred by certain other things like that, like say basil, mint, several other herbs, flowers, certain other flowers, marigolds, and a few other ones. So if you can, man, get a lot of those around your area. Uh, so you don't have to line your border with it exactly, but just give them around the area and that. So, you know, sometimes every so often I'll plant the marigold in the ground in the garden area and some other things. I do got mint that grows around the area. So, I mean, I planted it a few years ago and it still pops up. And it doesn't exactly invade my garden because I stay on top of it. So, I mean, if you want to go with, I could just suggest, I'm not telling you to do it, It's just offer advice. It's just that I kind of encourage other residents to take place in my garden. Albeit, some other ones may be a bit creeped out by some of those little guys hanging around, but they've been very useful. Um, I've had definitely a handful of number of spiders that can look pretty vicious, but they don't really bug me too much. I don't bug them. They don't bug me. I don't go around grabbing at them. Or I don't go around messing with them too much. They don't do. They tend to respect the same. Um, so um, yeah. I mean, you can even get some other little critters around that like to take up residence around. Like say, even if you could sometimes toads hang around my garden. A few other smaller things. Birds like to hang around. They tend to more go for the worms than some other bugs around. So since they're usually tend to be rather well fed, they kind of stay away from any other things. So that's in my experience. I'm not telling you you don't have the same outcome. Just saying in my experience, my situation. So yeah, I'm not going to say you're going to have the same results. So just do what you got to do, man. Um, but you could always use some dish soap, but be sure not to leave it on. Whenever you use a spray on the leaves or anything like that, do not leave it on the leaves for now too long or any parts of the plants because um, it will it has a tendency to suffocate the plant. Make it hard to intake any kind of air or anything like that. They have pores, they need to breathe. Just like our skin needs to breathe. So, I mean, so, they can perspire because they in their own manner. Um, but yeah, I mean, I know it sounds a little odd, but I mean, the people, what it is, what it is. So, yeah, but all right, let's see. And, uh, um, I gotta give those seeds to somebody I work with. Um, I did get a number of seeds from this other place, but I gotta. There is a type of cayenne. Um, I'm probably going to go see about getting more seeds for. I mean, I gave most of one of the seeds I had of that one to Blumberg. I'll re up on seeds for it. That's no problem. If I could go to the same place or some other same I've been meaning to go to this one other place to see about getting some seed potatoes or something. Do something about that. Get those. And if anybody's seen what the flowers from potato plants look like, they're pretty interesting. But yeah, uh, if I could suggest trying to look for like a online, go online and do like a mixture. I'm sure they got stuff like that, or you can get to create your own mixture. But I mean, be careful about that, and because you can never really be sure where they're all hiding because they're so small. Um, but I mean, I try to lean more towards a natural pest deterrence rather than try going to chemical warfare. Um, because when it comes to chemical pest controls on your garden, that can be a little iffy because you don't know how that may affect uh, your end result. Um, but Rick Gardner, I would suggest that. Well, no, I wouldn't suggest, but I said I've done the similar thing with um, grow potatoes in containers. Um, but I'm doing some of the different colored ones. I'm going to go with the different colored ones because I've grown several types of darker colored potatoes. I've grown the blue potatoes. I've grown purple potatoes, and they're both pretty good. I like the blues, the blue ones. The blue ones can come up. I mean, they do have that deep dark blue color to them in the middle, and the purple ones I have the same purple color, and they actually do taste really good. You get them baked up and all that. They got nice and much fuller, kind of thicker flavoring and taste texture. Yeah, but, but I don't know. Um, yeah. Um, I don't know. It's interesting seeing the end result of the potatoes. Uh, I don't know. This year is gonna be a little different. I never know actually what's going on until that time comes. And that's just the way makes it much simpler in my opinion. But I probably should go ahead and get order some potatoes to be coming in. Yeah, but I know tomorrow I'm going to have to be doing some raking up, clearing up some areas. Um, there's a lot I got to do in that. Um, I probably should see about doing some amendments. But even though I've had a lot of help with critters running around in my garden previously, help pre-amending the soil, so to speak. Um, so, I mean, they've helped a lot. Uh, so, I've had rabbits help me with that because they've been still hanging around the garden even throughout the winter. Uh, but yeah, so, and I've also been, yeah, um, but it's also like one of the things is that, yeah, just like you said, you never know until you dig in. But potatoes are always nice. Um, but let's see. I don't know. I just want to see what the how well this season will go. Um, I'm looking forward to transferring some from hydro to soil, but I probably could, go ahead and try doing that soon. I mean, with a few of them, I could probably go ahead and transfer them to that to help with that, and so they can adjust the being of the soil. But I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about tomorrow about how I'm going to do some cleaning up. I've been throwing leaves and other things and coffee grounds and all that out there to help. Coffee grounds seems to help deter a lot of bugs from showing up around, but it doesn't really affect. Doesn't seem to affect the worms in a negative manner. But yeah, so but well, no, got some stuff I need to take care of in the morning in regards to cleaning up the yard work. Um, yeah, so I'll probably eat a habanero or something after I make something to eat in the morning. All right, guys, this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to get ready to call it a night here pretty soon. Um, yeah, so I don't have to ramble and chat you guys' ear off or anything. Uh, but I just want to kind of trim off all the lower leaves or got all the lower leaves off here. So, yeah. So, yeah, everybody. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, get ready to call it a night. Um, I mean, unless there's something else y'all want to, to talk about. But, yeah. The other project I'm going to have to do, since I got two of these lights so close together, so I can have more grow space, I'm going to have to do like a thing where I can move one light a little more this way, one light a little more that way, so increase my growing area. Hey, what's up, Jesus? How you doing? Now, um, honestly, with the way this is going for the getting to this time of the year, so I think there's going to be a couple plants I might have to just do away with because it doesn't seem like they're. I mean, they've seen their better days. I'm definitely. I mean, I'm sure they could. I could get them to pull through, But the thing is, I'm going to have to make better use of my time. I'm going to have to conserve some space and, you know, make it so I don't use as much energy on those plants versus others. Because, like, there's a few plants I have in here that's like a good year old. There's a little more than that. Like that one. Well, there's like several of them actually, but there's like a good four or five. They're about year old or so. Well, a couple more than that. And honestly, I don't know if any of y'all remember, there was that little ornamental plant that I got from a grocery store that was with the orange pods on it. I still got that one going, still in the same container that I bought it in. I mean, I trimmed it back, or I didn't cut the plant really. I just cut it down to where it's just basically looking like a little scraggly little thing. And it's growing some leaves back. It's actually got a couple flowers coming in. So yeah. All right, Rob. But all right, everybody. If there's anything you guys want to discuss real quick, we could probably go over that real quick. But I just want to be sure because I'm going to have to get ready to call it a night here. Um, but oh, I almost forgot. This little thing. Don't know how well this might commit. Yeah, I think I might just cut that open and get those seeds out of the pot because I don't want it to go bad or nothing. Now, if this is actually something that comes about and actually works, when I hear what I got, oh, that'd be interesting. Uh, Now, where is it? Brown, no. This is what I gotta do. Here we go. Oh, oh. Sorry about that lean back, but just had to do that just to get at this. So, Rocky. All right. All right. Now, if I can get that, or if that comes out in any kind of way similar to what I did to get that about, that'll be interesting. Now, okay. The only way I'll know if that's anything, either it's going to come out as one way or it's going to come out another, or a mixture of that. So, I'm not saying it's a successful thing, but it's an experiment that I just did in the past few months. So, yeah, it'll be something to look forward to. So, if it's anything that comes out decent or anything comes out and shows positive results, I'll keep you on the loop. But, alright, sorry for sounding a little cryptic on that, but basically it was just a cross that I'm working on or attempted. The reason why I say attempted is because I did the work, did the steps to do it, but the only thing is whether or not it actually took. So that's the only way for me to know is to grow it out. But if it is a combination between that one and that one, it'll be a good one. Right. Oh, excuse me. All right. I want to say thanks, guys. That was for you guys showing up and everything. I do appreciate it. Um, but we'll have to be shutting the stream down here soon. Well, Rocky, I haven't really had an official plan on that cross, but if it comes out any variation of the both of the parent plants, then it'll be decent. So now, yeah. So if it's like a mismatch of both of them in there, that'll be good. And yeah, but yeah, if it does come out anyway, then I have to make it. I'll make a decision on it. I'm not gonna make that decision now, and then it not come out the way I hope. So I have some ideas for it to come out to play. Awesome. Thanks, Eric. All right, guys. We'll get off the stream here in a second. Just gotta do a couple things before I lay down, and yeah. So, all right, everybody. We want to go ahead and squash out this live stream and talk at y'all later. And yeah, so and next couple days or so, when these pods ripen, like I mentioned earlier, we want to go ahead, do a little mini live stream, and a little seed giveaway of that. So it'll be a nice little thing to do with that. So, or a nice little thing to try out. It'll be a hydro cayenne there. But all right, everybody. Want to say thank you guys for showing up in the chat. Thanks everybody for anybody else that would be watching. We appreciate it. All right. Remember, everybody, keep it spicy. All right. And yeah. And so, well, I said thanks everyone. Uh, yeah. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again. I'll go ahead and check y'all in the next video. More of them should be coming up real soon here. And yeah, I hope everybody has a good night. All right. Thanks again, everybody. I do appreciate it. I know I said that so many times, but I'm just trying to express that I do appreciate it. So, all right. Thanks, guys. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Stay tuned for the next video to come, please. All right. And anybody else that's in the chat, be sure to check out everybody else's channels in the chat. And all right. See y'all around. And peace out, y'all. Peace.